Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Andrew. I'm the owner of Complete Street Performance, and today I am going to tell you something shocking, and that is that the Camaro is a better car than the Corvette. So first I want to go over my qualifications, why I can make such a drastic claim, and really it's because I own both. I have a Camaro, a CTS-V, and the C7 Corvette. They are all great cars, but it is my opinion, both professionally and personally, that the Camaro is better. So this comparison, what we're going to do is we're going to compare like the SS to the Stingray and the ZL1 to the Z06. Now they are basically the equivalent. Like when you go from the Stingray to the Z06, you don't get any extra features in terms of the normal package. You get the power plant, the brakes, stuff like that, but you don't, like a 1LT doesn't get heated seats, heated or cooled seats, and nor does a 1LZ. Now the Camaro, a 1SS doesn't get it, a 2SS does, kind of like a 2LT does, and although the ZL1 does get it standard, so that's kind of how this video is probably going to go. The Camaro versus the Corvette, it wins on price point alone. For the equivalent Corvette, it is $20,000 more. And you want to know what really upsets me about spending $20,000 more?
You get less.
So here's something. The heated steering wheel. That's phenomenal. It's so damn good. You cannot get this on the C7 Corvette. Like, what the hell, GM? I spent $20,000 more and I couldn't get a heated steering wheel. They probably use just about the same steering wheel. Like, you could have done this. You absolutely could have done this. I guess maybe they're figuring that people don't drive their Corvettes in the cold. I might have done that once or twice.
You having trouble pulling in?
So not only do you get a heated steering wheel when you're option for option, you also get rear seats. Rear seats are really nice when you have kids. Like, if you don't have kids, I understand this isn't exactly like, you know, the winning combination, but it's still a coupe, so you're still rocking out. Like, it's nice to have rear seats when you want to like punish one of your friends, or if you have kids. So next up, the design. The design is really nice, both inside and out. Inside, you have a very well upholstered interior. You have a nice suede steering wheel, heated, and you have a nice nav screen that like is actually really nice for a navigation screen. It's got a beautiful PDR where the actual videos that the PDR takes look very good compared to the C7. The C7 looks like shit, their PDR. Now, for those of you who don't know, the PDR is a performance data recorder. This means that the car actually has a camera. It sits right here. I'm kind of covering it. I'm not hurting the lens, but it sits right behind the mirror. There's a camera in here, and it like overlays your mile per hour, G-forces, stuff like that. And the camera is a lot nicer. So again, $20,000 less, better parts. We move on to the trim. The trim in both the Corvette and the Camaro are roughly the same. They're different, but they're still pointed well. The seats on the Camaro ZL1 at least are beautiful, whereas the seats on the Corvette are nice, very nice, but not as supportive. Like, I never could get totally comfortable in my C7. It's weird, like in the C7, it's way better than the C6 seats, and at least up until the 12 and 13 model years. But the C7 is a better car than its predecessor, but This Camaro's better. It is just way nicer. Now, one of the things that really sets this car apart is the transmission. So if you are a manual guy, you will get a 7-speed manual in your Corvette. But you want to know the bullshit thing about that? If you're trying to get great gas mileage, you're not going to do it in 7th gear. Like, what? Like, your best gas mileage is going to be in 6th gear in eco mode, meaning 4-cylinder mode. So, what the hell is the point of 7th gear? Like, when you're in 4-cylinder mode in 7th gear, it pops out and goes to V8 mode because there's not enough power to run it in 4-cylinder mode. Like, whose major oversight was that? You could have just used the normal 6-speed manual transmission. But I'm going to tell you the big thing here, the big difference that makes for an even crazier thing here is the automatic transmission. The Corvette could only fit the 8-speed automatic. The Camaro gets a fancy 10-speed. 10 speeds of fury. That's right, you get 10 speeds with the Camaro. The Camaro SS guys will get a 10R80, where the Camaro ZL1 guys are getting a 10R90. Both are extremely capable transmissions. The 10-speed is insane. The 8-speed's a great transmission, but the 10-speed makes it kind of look like junk. It's wild. And I thought the 8-speed made the 6-speed look like junk. I thought the 6-speed made the 4-speed look like junk. So, I mean, the progression's crazy. I never thought that the 8-speed would look like junk, let alone so quickly. And then I never thought that they would put the 10-speed in the Camaro and not put it in the Corvette. I mean, truthfully, they can't fit it in the Corvette. But shit, like, are you kidding me? You can't do that to your flagship. It's still $20,000 more, and you're still getting less. As far as the exterior design, I think that can go by personal preference. I mean, any design, I guess, goes by personal preference, but my personal preference is actually the Camaro. I know the Corvette looks really good and all, but I think the Camaro, at least the ZL1, is badass. Now, the 19 Camaro SS has a little thing going on, but the ZL1 is beautiful. You have these just like mean-looking body lines. It looks fast, and it is fast. I mean, this thing makes 650 horsepower. Well, mine actually makes a lot more. I have drag radials on here. I got a camshaft in it. You can hear the cam lobe. Like, I have all sorts of fun things here that make over 800 rear wheel horsepower through the automatic, which is pretty insane. Hey, you get a trunk that actually holds stuff. Apparently, I got a lot of stuff in here, and it's a decent size. Like, that's from my elbow to the tip of my finger. It's tall. It's not the tallest thing to get in here. That's one thing that the Corvette hatchback will have. I mean, it's a hatchback, but the Camaro looks beautiful. You know what else the Camaro has that the Corvette does not? Cooling. It is insane for cooling mods. Both my Corvette and my Camaro are making a good bit of power. The Corvette is faster because it is lighter, but the Camaro has insane cooling. Look at that grille. You have cooling everywhere. You have cooler here, like a bajillion coolers in here. There are heat exchangers everywhere. The blower itself has 2 heat exchangers. The Rad has 2 heat exchangers. This is a track-ready car that overheating is not a problem. Engine bay-wise, there is a decent amount of space. Now, on ours, we added headers. Well, on mine, I added headers and a couple other things. We got a smaller pulley, ported blower, all this fun stuff, big gulp intake, all sorts of cool things. And what I can tell you is that on the C7, the engine bay is much tighter. I have a twin turbo C7, and it is a very interesting engine bay, and changing spark plugs really suck. The twin turbo ZL1 that we've done, looks much, much, much nicer and is laid out much better. The ZL1 gets a carbon fiber hood. This is always carbon fiber. Sometimes it's painted black. The Corvette gets a carbon fiber hood and a carbon fiber roof, but it's not usually exposed. You can pay for the carbon fiber roof on the Corvette, but here's one of the funny things with it. You pay for the carbon fiber roof. The roof's already carbon fiber. All they're doing is exposing the carbon fiber. They are charging you like $2,000 extra to give you less because they're not providing the paint anymore. And then on top of it, this is the crazy thing, you do not get the regular panel then. So you end up spending more. Oh my god, if you do the if you do the transparent top, it's an even worse deal, because not only do you get rid of your top that's made of carbon fiber, you get this plastic one instead, and you pay $1,000 and the part costs $1,000 like after the fact. What the hell? Like, you're just getting screwed all over the place. So I gotta tell you, the Corvette is not as good of a deal. It's gotta be completely obvious now that the Corvette is not as good of a car. So one of the complaints that people have about the Camaro, which I don't actually understand, is that they say that the visibility is bad out of it. Well, truthfully, the visibility is bad out of most sports cars. So like, when you say the visibility is bad, to me that means that there's got to be something like you got to have some kind of weird tunnel vision. That is not the case. Like, if you look out the window here, guess what? I see everything. So from my point of view, I have lots of visibility here. My mirror's not aimed how it's supposed to be. Basically, when you do your mirrors, you're supposed to have it just like that. So when you lean left, you see the side, but you don't see it, otherwise. And hey, guess what? I can still see stuff. And then, oh my gosh, there we go. Lean left, up, there's the other side. And then there's no blind spots. Like, just set your shit right. That's all you gotta do. It's insane. Like, set your mirrors right. Like, oh wow, look. Easy. And you're good. Again, both the Corvette and the Camaro are equipped with a lot of the same options. Like heads-up display. The heads-up display is nice on both of them. The heated and cooled seats are nice on both of them. I will tell you that the heated seats work way, way better in the Camaro. The heated seats in the C7 Corvette, it's like, it's like somebody's blowing on you. And it's not really hot. It's like, what the hell is that? The seats never get hot in the C7 Corvette. It's very disappointing. And for cooling purposes, like, you get a brush of cold air for a quick second and then it stops. And it's like, wait, what? And all I can figure is that it has so much resistance for some reason, like the air gets sucked up that was in this pocket and then it can't suck in properly anymore. I don't know. I've never had good success, and I've had two C7 Corvettes, and from my own standpoint, I work on them all the time, and none of them flow very well. Like the heated and cooled seats in the Camaro just work great. It's silly. Like, again, $20,000 less for the Camaro, better parts. The Camaro interior, minus the 1SS, is really, really nice. The 1SS interior, no, I'm not breaking into somebody's car, it's just under another Camaro. The 1SS interior, it's not bad, it's a little bland. Like, it's all cloth, but it doesn't feel too bad. You still get a leather steering wheel. You do not get the heated steering wheel anymore, and you don't get the heated and cooled seats. But the 1SS is a little bit bland. If you were comparing a 1SS to a 1LT, so the base model for the Camaro SS to the base model of the Stingray, at that point, I would choose the Stingray. But once you start putting any options on it, I mean, it's Camaro all day long. Like, absolutely all day long. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And I've had a lot of all of them. I gotta say, I was kind of sad that I like driving my Camaro way more than my C7. Not that I dislike driving my C7, but Camaro is just a nicer car. Plus, I can take my kids in it. So now I want to know, what do you think? Do you prefer the Camaro over the Corvette, or do you think I'm nuts? Write it below in the comments, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day, guys.